This is why I wear wigs. Hey YouTube, it's Sly from Anna Gamer Cosplay, and I am here today to do a get ready with me. I haven't actually done one of these before. I am just here with an array of makeup, ready to get my face looking better than what it is right now. So let's get to today's topic, which is being blind or slash visually impaired in the cosplay community. Speaking of being blind and visually impaired, if my eye, this one, is moving around more than normal, I don't think I got enough sleep last night, so my eye is having a hard time focusing straight ahead of me. So if it's wandering off this way or shaking a lot, my eye is just tired. So that's just what you're gonna have to deal with and look at. So have fun. I have been, okay, you know what? I'm supposed to do get ready with me, right? So wig cap first. I first got into cosplay. I can do a separate get ready with me video on how I got into cosplay, but I got into cosplay in 2009. Well, that's when I started cosplaying. When I first discovered cosplay was probably 2007 on YouTube. That was when YouTube was like super new still. Everyone was just posting whatever and didn't care about anything like monetization or stuff like that because that didn't exist back then. So right now I've already washed and moisturized my face, and I am now using the e.l.f. poreless primer. This is a brand new bottle, so it's taking me a bit to pump this out. Growing up, I've never actually really had a lot of friends or anything, so I never knew what it was like, you know, to have like a group of friends. And when I saw these people cosplaying, I was like, oh my gosh, like if I could do this too, I could possibly have, you know, friends. I'm gonna do one more layer just to be safe. But I'm very socially awkward and socially anxious with most people. When I got into cosplay, I didn't really see my vision as anything to hinder me really. That is until I started going to conventions. All right, so next up I'm going to be doing eye primer. This is the e.l.f. eye primer. There's nothing coming out of here. I guess I'm not using this. Okay then, trash you go. Next I'm using this Maybelline BB cream. I just use my hands. I need to get my beauty blender wet. Totally forgot. I'm not prepared, clearly. Today has been a day. Beauty blender, it's a knockoff, it's e.l.f. I'm just gonna blend this out for any spots that I may have missed. The first thing I want to talk about with being blind in the cosplay community is buying and making costumes. Well, I was always under the impression, like when I first started cosplaying, I thought making your costumes was the best way to go. But over the years, I've realized how long it actually takes me to make a costume. Like it takes me about twice as long for anyone else, or compared to anyone else. So next I'm doing foundation, which is the CoverGirl 3-in-1 Stay Fabulous foundation. I usually use Maybelline's Maybelline Super Stay. That is, the Maybelline one is my favorite right now. This used to be my favorite, but they changed the formula so it's not as good anymore, but I still like to use it. So when I do my foundation, I usually like to put it on my hand first and then wipe it up with my beauty blender and just dot, dot, dot. So yeah, costumes. I was usually under the impression that making them was better, but since it takes me so long to make them, I started buying them. Like really only this year is when I started actually buying them, which honestly, I don't think it's a bad thing. I never really thought buying costumes was a bad thing anyway, but I think do what you want. If you don't know how to sew, that's totally fine. It's cool to learn though. I mean, I always get a satisfaction out of making my costumes, but since I can't see well, it takes me twice as long. Like something like a simple skirt and top for like a typical anime school uniform. It takes me probably about 2 to 3 weeks to make that. Some of it is also procrastination on my part, but most of it is just because it takes me longer to do stuff. It might take someone else, I'm doing a second layer of foundation. It might take someone else maybe like a couple days or a week at most. Buying costumes is a gamble though, because you aren't guaranteed the quality that you want, because when you're making it yourself, you can control everything. What the fabric is, how it fits on you, all that stuff. When you buy it online, you're gambling because you don't know, unless it's like a really good reputable place. I just want to make sure that I do what I think works best for me, and that is right now buying costumes. Like I bought my Deku Gamma suit. I had to do so many alterations to it, but I didn't have to make the entire thing, you know what I mean? So I want to eventually make my Deku costume, and I will eventually make it. But for now, I'm satisfied with what I have. I usually check my makeup progress in my phone camera, so I'm gonna do that right now. But I can still like sew and everything. I think I'm gonna add one more layer to this. This CoverGirl one doesn't cover as much as it used to. Like it doesn't have as full of coverage as it used to, which is why I don't really like it anymore. I'm capable of making a costume even though I can't see very well. I have learned different techniques and stuff that work for me that I have used to help me make a costume. I have made a bunch of costumes, and the sad part is they weren't for me. They were all commissions. There was a point in time where I didn't make anything for myself. I was like maybe a 5-year period where I just made commissions, and I was not happy doing that after a while. I missed cosplaying myself, and so right now I'm in the mentality where it's like I can spend like a month on a costume, or I can just have that satisfaction of buying the costume and just wearing it, you know what I mean? I'm enjoying buying them. I'm not enjoying the process of seeing if they fit me. Just smoothing it out on my under eyes because that's where it tends to crease a lot. Yeah, the third layer is much better. Okay, I've got my foundation and all that stuff on, so now I'm going to be doing my setting powder. I just cleaned all my brushes just for you guys, so here's a freshly washed face brush for you that I'm gonna get dirty right away again in this stuff. I'm gonna be adding some chapstick onto my lips at the end. This is just a little tinted one that I like to use because right now my lips are very pale, which is good for male cosplay, but honestly, I don't like fully pale lips for myself, even in male cosplay, so I like to have a tiny bit of color still. So this is the Maybelline Fit Me powder that I really like, and this brush is an e.l.f. brush. I'm not sure which one it is. It's just a face brush. So I like to set my under eyes with this. I just kind of like to press it in like that. You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to do concealer. So the next thing I want to talk about is kind of like on the note of costume making is wig styling. Unlike with costume making, I like to style my own wigs. I'm really nitpicky about that kind of stuff, and so I just like to do my own, and I've gotten pretty good at styling wigs. Despite me not being able to see very well, I have to spend a lot of time doing it. I need really bright lights to help me see what I'm doing. I also have to look very close to stuff, like I just like concentrating. And so this concealer is the e.l.f. full coverage, I think. I don't know. I can't read it right now either, and I'm almost out, which is sad. But this is super good coverage, guys. Like, it is amazing. I have spatial awareness also, so that's why I can just go right in without worrying about poking my eye out with this. So I like to have control over my wigs, so that's why I don't get my wigs commissioned unless it's something I'm just too lazy to do. But then I will only commission someone that I actually know personally and who I can trust, because I've had many experiences where people have dropped the ball on commissions I've paid for. Another thing is not being able to see what I look like very well. That's a problem for me because I always want to make sure that I look presentable and stuff like that, and I'm very body conscious, and that's a whole different issue besides my vision. Like, I just have body dysmorphia, so I tend to be very critical of my appearance in cosplay usually, Not so much in real life, but in cosplay especially. I am very self-conscious and aware and critical of myself. And I know I shouldn't be, but it's just a thing that happens and that I struggle with. Let's move on to conventions. I love going to conventions, you guys. Going to my first convention, it was super exciting. I love being able to go in costume and just geek out with everyone else. And I have so much fun, and I've met so many friends going to cons, and so many friends that I know who also cosplay just online. And then, you know, some of you guys who subscribe to me, I'm getting to know, which is so awesome. And I love that. Let me take a picture of this real quick. Also, don't worry about me going right up against my eye. I'm not actually touching my eyeball. I'm just very aware of where I can touch. That doesn't hurt me. Yeah, I met so many awesome people cosplaying and going to conventions, but you know, there are also downsides, especially when you can't see. Mainly, one of the things that it goes with my social anxiety too, is the artist alley. For me, my vision is so bad that I would have to literally go behind the tables to see what, you know, is being hung up behind it. And I'm always scared to ask, and I know people wouldn't mind at all, but it's just me being a weirdo and just being like, I don't want to ask them because I don't want them to think I'm weird. So now I'm doing my setting powder. I really need to work on that, and I know I do, and I'm gonna try this year at KatsuCon to be more out there and say hi to people and, you know, strike up conversations with people and stuff like that. Okay, next I'm going to be doing my contour. I didn't actually get my contour out. Where did I put it? So ignore my dirty contour. It kind of spreads. I'm sorry, but I usually use this NYX contour palette. I really love it. I usually use this shade with a stipple brush, so it's a little lighter on me, on my face. So I have the e.l.f. stipple brush, the small stipple brush. This one gets so dirty, you guys. I have two of these, and I think I'm just going to use one for contouring and one for highlighting, because I want to start highlighting, but I need to find one that's not shimmery highlighting, you know? I'm actually going to use my phone to do the contour, because I need to actually see what I'm doing. What was I talking about? And this is where you're going to see my eyes doing weird stuff, so have fun with that. At cons, so the thing is, a lot of people like to, you know, get your attention by yelling your character name that you're cosplaying and like saying hi to you that way and stuff like that. But the thing is, when you can't see and there are multiple people cosplaying who you're cosplaying and someone yells out your character's name to you, well, for me, like a normal person, they would be able to turn around and look and see that this person is talking to them. I cannot. So like when someone says hi to me, I'm not aware most of the time that they're talking to me. So I usually just turn around and wave regardless of if they're talking to me or not, just to be safe, because I don't want to come off as rude and not wave back and they think I'm rude, you know what I mean? So if you guys ever see me, just come up to me and talk to me. Don't yell at me from across the room, because most of the time I'm not going to know you're talking to me because I can't see you. I love spending 10 minutes straight looking for my camera battery. That's freaking great. I love it. I do want to talk about some positive things, because a lot of the things I've been talking about are negative. So the next thing I'm doing is contouring my eyes. So I like to use this brush. I got it in a subscription box. I don't know what it is, but I just really like this fluffy part. And I'm using the NYX blush in taupe. I don't think it's called taupe anymore, but that's what it used to be called. I can't read what it says right now, but it used to be called taupe. I think it's still called taupe, but it's there. I was holding it upside down, another blind person thing. I like using this because it is a perfect contour shade, right? My next thing I'm going to talk about is my YouTube channel and creating it and stuff like that. I really have learned a lot doing this. I've learned so much on filmmaking and photography, and I really do owe it all to this channel and creating this channel. I'm kind of contouring for a male face shape as well, so that's kind of why I'm doing it a little heavier here in the brow bone area and nose. You know what else I forgot to do? I can't do my makeup on camera clearly. I forgot to contour my chin and my nose, so I'm gonna do that now. Trash, I know. I've learned so many things, and I've also learned that I can do all these things like filmmaking and stuff like that being visually impaired. It would be more difficult if I was completely blind, I'm not gonna lie about that, but I have learned so much and I am very proud of what I've made, and I feel like I can inspire other people who may think that they can't do stuff like this because of their vision or some other disability, but I am proof. Where is my powder brush? There it is. I am proof that you can, and you shouldn't, you know, let your disabilities hinder you from doing what you really want to do, and not let anyone tell you that you can't. There's no shame in getting help for it either. I also like to blend out with my fingers just to make sure I'm doing it by feel. You know what I mean? I'm gonna go back to stuff that sucks. One of the things is bullying. That is a very big thing for a lot of people these days that I've actually been noticing a lot more lately. It makes me sad because not really in the cosplay community as much as just in general, the bullying is getting a little out of hand. In the cosplay community, I've noticed I'm kind of in my own little bubble in the cosplay community, so like I don't actually interact with a lot of people. The people I do interact with, luckily, are very nice and I try to only surround myself with positive and nice people. That may be why I've been lucky enough. Now I'm gonna add my chapstick. I use the Burt's Bees. This one is colored. I didn't know that when I first bought it. It's this, I'm gonna just list everything down below. I can't see right now what everything's called, but I just like to add it on as a color. I like to blend it out with my fingers as well, just to make sure I get everything. Because sometimes I get this weird fade if I'm not careful. This is how I do the majority of my makeup for any character really. With Bakugo, I like to make my contour a bit deeper because they all have baby faces, but I like to make his a little bit more pronounced, his contouring a little bit more pronounced, and Deku's a little more softer. And then Todoroki, it's kind of in between Bakugo and Deku. So the last thing I'm doing is e.l.f. setting spray. And I like doing this because it helps keep my face moisturized, but also set my makeup and all that stuff. Did I do everything? I've been forgetting so many steps in this get ready with me. Oh, by the way, I also don't do eyeliner because I don't trust myself. Oh, I do remember something I forgot to do. I tend to get foundation on my eyelashes, so I like to take just a piece of a wipe and just wipe off my eyelashes because no one wants white or beige eyelashes. And then I have been trying to get used to using mascara. I try my best. I've never actually been bullied in the cosplay community for my vision or the way my eyes look or anything like that. Mostly in the past I have been bullied for my weight. And it wasn't even that many times. It was just like one time. I don't usually like to get into cosplay drama, so like all the stuff about the My Hero fandom where it's like awful or whatever, I haven't seen that. For one, I don't go to many cons, and that's mainly the prevalence of where that is happening. And then two, this is the Sephora mascara I just used. So I'm gonna go in here and try my best. I like to hold up my eyelid like that, just so I don't accidentally hit anything. Sorry, I'm not talking through this part because I have to concentrate very hard so I don't poke myself in the eye. Sometimes I do. We love that. We love poking ourselves in the eye with mascara. That's the best thing. And since I'm bad at applying it, I also like to run an extra spoolie through it, like a empty spoolie. I also forgot to curl them. I am a mess today. This one's harder because I can't see anything right now. At least with my other eye, I could. Sorry if this looks really gross, you guys. Might cut the. Oh, I just touched my fake eye with this. Oh, lovely. I will definitely be cutting this out. I've never been bullied for the fandoms or the pairings I liked. I've been really lucky in that front. This eye is gonna be less neat with mascara because I can't see anything I'm doing. And I just got it all over my hands. Look at me. Turning into a completely different person. Who needs air? And I have another man's money. Alright, I do have one more little topic. Okay, let me do my setting spray. I'm gonna put on my Deku wig because I'm going to be reviewing Deku cosplays, so I feel it fitting. And also I'm gonna do some TikToks while I'm waiting for my batteries to charge on my camera. A lot of people don't know that I'm actually visually impaired until I tell them or they notice my eyes prominently. But most of the time people don't ask, you know, because I assume people are just trying not to be rude. Adults just tend not to ask because they are adults and know not to be rude. Although I'm not offended if people ask me if you know, like what's wrong with your eyes, like do you have a visual impairment or whatever. I don't mind explaining things. I am totally fine if you guys want to come up to me and say hi. I am friendly even if I don't respond to you because I don't know you're talking to me. I will still love to meet new people and get to know new people because I need friends. I'm a friendless little loner baby. I don't know why I put my wig on because I don't have a binding shirt on yet. Lovely. I have timed this perfectly. I am finished with all my stuff and I've finished all my topics. Deku looks good. Yay. I'm not going to put freckles on right now. I'll probably put them on later. That's all I got for being blind in the cosplay community. It wasn't a very interesting topic, I'm sorry, but that's what you guys voted for, so that's what I'm talking about. I don't really have much experience in the way of, you know, bad interactions or anything. A lot of people are very supportive and very willing to not be judgmental and, you know, be kind and all that stuff. And that is all I hope for. Thank you for getting ready with me. And next topic, I will make a vote again, or a poll again for you guys to vote on. And we will do another get ready with me soon if you guys like this. So please let me know if you do like this and I might do some more. Sorry for the lack of skits and stuff. I'm really planning out this CMV that we're working on right now, and I'm kind of focusing on that right now and photo shoots. So I'm still planning on doing a skit for this month. I hope you guys enjoy the content I am putting out. I do miss making skits and stuff like that, so I really want to get a skit out at least by the end of this month, hopefully. If not, you will be getting a Valentine's Day skit. I do promise that. In the meantime, I hope you guys are having a great day and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.